ఇంగ్లాండ్ వెస్ట్ మినిస్టర్ చర్చిలో బ్రిటన్ రాజు చార్లెస్ పట్టాభిషేకం జరుగుతోంది. లైవ్ చూద్దాం.
And we're passing, of course, the great tower, the Elizabeth Tower, named after the late Majesty, and the anthem played. Past the Palace of Westminster and turning right into Broad Sanctuary, the name reflecting the history of the Abbey and its purpose, providing sanctuary for people in ancient times. Palace of Westminster, the scene of so many state openings of Parliament for Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. The King stood in for Her late Majesty on the last occasion because she was too unwell to attend, and read the speech on their behalf. And this beautiful coach, which was a gift of the people of Australia, making its way down towards the great west door of Westminster Abbey, where the canopy has been set out to keep them dry while they get ready for that grand procession, a procession on a scale that we've not seen since 1953, including the orders of chivalry, knighthood, Thistle and the Garter and the Order of Merit and Companions of Honour. And it'll be a great ceremonial pageant, and it'll illustrate some of the great elements of heritage in these islands. Moving past the stands that have been erected there on the left for members of the world's media. There's a very different scene to 70 years ago when a very big annex had been built in front of the Abbey to house guests as they arrived. And that is where the Queen took refuge, if you like, from the rain, and was able to put on the state robes before the procession down to the Coronation Theatre, but no such annex today. The Dean of Westminster, who presides over all matters, and the chapter, the governing body of Westminster Abbey, standing by there to welcome the King and Queen. The Dean with a very special relationship because he's answerable not to the Archbishop of Canterbury or any other bishop. He is answerable to the sovereign, because Westminster Abbey has a special status as a church. It's known as a royal peculiar, and the royal family has a long and deep bond with this place of worship. When the King and Queen alight, we will be able to say something about what they're wearing, because we're told by the palace that His Majesty is wearing the robe of state and a crimson coronation tunic and a cream silk overshirt with royal naval trousers. Now, you may think that that is the usual order of affairs, but it is not. It is the monarch's choice. And George VI, for example, was determined most of the time to be wearing his naval uniform. Charles today has decided to be in the robe of state, and we can see that full formality is being observed among the royal family and those who've arrived, certainly those senior working royals. We're still expecting the Prince and Princess of Wales and 2 of their children to join the congregation. They're on their way, we're told. Their elder son, Prince George, will be helping the King and Queen because Prince George, who's 9, is actually one of the pages of honour today. Very soon we'll see the great procession getting underway, and if I can just explain to you what's going to happen. When that procession happens, it'll take some time because it'll move at a very stately pace. It involves dozens and dozens of individuals, all performing certain roles, some of them carrying items of regalia, such as spurs or bracelets or rings or scepters and rods, which will be presented to the King and Queen later on in the coronation ceremony. So that procession is important in terms of a statement of power and status, but it is of course also important in terms of presenting items of regalia for use in the coronation ceremony itself. It serves a specific purpose. There's been a lot of planning for this coronation service, and the Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh and the Princess Royal and the Duke of Kent, they're just on the right hand side, first cousin to Her Majesty the Queen, and Princess Alexandra just sitting behind the Duke of Kent, and there we can see the Duke of Sussex as well, just in the row behind. They all know what's gone into this ceremony today because it's been in the making for decades. Charles Armstrong Jones there as well, just behind the Duke of Sussex, who is the son of the Earl of Snowdon. We can see the Middletons, Mr. and Mrs. Middleton, who are also part of the congregation, the parents of the Princess of Wales. And there, just in the middle of that row, the man with the closely cropped beard, Paddy Harvison, who used to work very closely with the King and with the William and Kate. State trumpeters of the household cavalry sounding a fanfare to tell the world that the King and Queen have arrived at the Great West Door of Westminster Abbey. The Cross of Wales, a new cross given by the King to the Church in Wales, is leading the way, a new procession cross. And then we see the Dean of the Chapels Royal, the Bishop of London, Sarah Mullally. And then following them we have the Archbishop of York, who's preceded by the Prime Marshal Cross of York, the Pursuivants of Arms, the attendants of the most senior heralds in the College of Arms, who we'll see a little later on, but they're ancient names with strong links to the past, including Blue Mantle and Rouge Dragon and Rouge Croix Portcullis. The Orders of Chivalry and Gallantry Award holders. They include Lord Coe there, Sebastian Coe, and they include members such as Baroness Ashton and Lieutenant Colonel Andrew Ford, the Archbishop of Armagh. And just outside the Great West Door, Her Majesty the Queen Consort getting ready to join the procession when it reaches a certain point. Standards of the quarterings of the Royal Arms, England, Ireland, Scotland, preceded by the Standard of Wales. And there we have the Royal Standard, carried by Francis Dimmock, whose family in Lincolnshire has performed that role for centuries. His Majesty King Charles III, arriving at Westminster Abbey on his coronation day. Flanked by two bishops, the bishops who will assist the King during this service. Just in the background there, Prince George, 9-year-old, who's been asked to act as one of the pages of honour for today's ceremony. Clergy of Westminster Abbey, part of the chapter. There we have the Dean of Westminster, and then the Cross of Canterbury with the Archbishop of Canterbury, Justin Welby. Just arriving outside, the Prince and Princess of Wales, very formally dressed again, and I should say that we've been told that they are wearing their formal robe and mantle at the request specifically of the King and Queen. The Queen's crown made for Queen Mary back in 1911, which is being reused, it's been adjusted, and it'll be used today to crown Camilla as Queen Consort, carried by the Duke of Wellington. Former Bishop of London, Richard Charters, with the ring that will be presented to the Queen. Baroness Kennedy, the distinguished lawyer, one of those carrying the sceptres and rods of equity and mercy. Duke of Norfolk, the Earl Marshal, and then Penny Mordaunt, the Lord President of the Council, Cabinet Minister, who is a sword bearer today. It's the first time that a woman has fulfilled this role in the coronation service, and the Chief of the Armed Forces, Admiral Sir Tony Radakin, on her right. The Gentlemen at Arms leading the way in for the crown itself.